Welcome to the Soul Alchemy podcast. On this podcast today, I have Zsuzsa, who is a theatre healer and currently in Budapest. Today, we're going to dive in deep into Zsuzsa's journey, all about theatre healing, where she started, what inspired her, and what was the aha moments for her. Welcome, Zsuzsa.
Hi, beautiful. How are you? Thank you for having me.
I'm good. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. I'm calling you by your given name, right? It is Zsuzsa.
Well, it's Zsuzsa,
Zsuzsa, okay.
which is short for Zsuzsanna, which is the English Zsuzsanna, and Zsuzsa is completely fine.
So I think I just added a spicy twist to it.
Exactly. Well, usually I say to people when they don't know how to pronounce my name, I always bring Zsuzsa Gabor as an example, because she was Hungarian and it's the same double letter ZS, which is pronounced like M. So Zsuzsa, it's all good. I mean, cold words.
Well, I really hope I don't do that or offend anyone in any way today. But Zsuzsa, please tell us about your journey, because you're currently in Budapest and I follow you and we are Facebook friends, and every time I see you are in America, then you are in Budapest and you're in different parts in Italy, my favorite place too. So tell me about your journey and how did you get to do this?
Well, my journey started very early on. My mother was pretty bad alcoholic, but she found spirituality when I was only like 12 years old. And she learned Reiki. And then she took me also to take Reiki 1 and Reiki 2. So at 12 years old, I was exposed to energy healing. So I was lucky enough to have this other world open up to me at a very young age. And then I practiced some other modalities like the Silva method for manifestation, or kinesiology as well here in Hungary, and many other things. I was always open to spirituality, right? However, I was not introduced to Theta healing until a decade ago. And prior to that, I would not say I was very, spiritually oriented. I was a single mother. I was struggling with survival and focused on basically, maintaining my children. So 10 years ago, fast forward, 2015, I knew a girl who had cancer, and they gave her 1% chance of survival. And she refused radiation and chemotherapy, and her whole family was really upset. They were actually, her mother would call me and tell me to convince her to go through with these treatments. And I told her I can't convince her of something I don't really believe in. I mean, I don't say I would never, treat cancer for myself with those treatments, but I never say never, but I just don't agree with those treatments. So I was telling her that I couldn't really help them. However, what I was doing, I was taking her to different healers, because she was living in Florida and she came home to Hungary to do an emergency surgery. And then she was looking for ways of healing, the root cause, right? So not the traditional medical way. And then I moved with my children to the US in the summer of 2015. And a few months later, she showed up in Florida looking radiant. And I was like, wow, what happened to you? She said, I found Theta healing. It's a healing modality. It gave me the answers to all my questions. I was able to, heal myself, and now I practice this and I'm teaching this modality. I was like, okay. So she gave me a session. I mean, it was 10 years ago, but I remember I shed some tears and I felt lighter. And at this time, I was suffering from horrible lower back pain. I had herniated disc in my lower back. I had no money, no medical insurance. I was very brave and moved with my 2 children to the United States, hoping that I would get my work permit in just a matter of couple of months. And I've been there already for a few months with no work permit, and my money was running out, very stressful. Then this herniated disc appeared, and I was basically crippled. My children had to pull me out of bed in the morning, and even breathing hurt. Like, it was really, really painful. So she gave me this session and I did feel a little relief, but she was teaching the basic Theta Healing seminar in just a matter of couple of weeks. And I was like, I think I want to learn this. And my mom passed away in 2012, and I was talking to her best friend, and I mentioned this to her, and she was like, oh my God, that's the modality your mother found before she died. She really wanted to learn it. And how interesting that now you found this as well. And, I got chills, and I just really got a confirmation that, I should go ahead and learn this healing modality, which I knew nothing about at that point. Like, I literally signed up as a soul calling, it just felt so aligned. So I take the basic Theta Healing seminar. I love it. Advanced Theta Healing seminar is taught in 2 weeks. I also sign up for the advanced seminar. I learn the basic and the advanced, and my focus is to heal my lower back, right? Because I'm in excruciating pain. And I do sessions on myself on a daily basis. And in just a matter of 2-3 weeks, finally, I have this aha moment while I'm doing, applying the tools and digging in my subconscious. And I'm very lucky to have experienced an instantaneous healing so early on in my Theta Healing journey. So I found the bottom belief, what we call in the subconscious, which was holding this herniated disc in place, or manifested this herniated disc. And as soon as I released that, I saw this unconditional love, this energy of creation, which we tap into with Theta Healing, come into my lower back and do an instantaneous healing. And I never had a lower back problem since. 2 minutes later, I could move, I had no pain, and I was like, wow, if I could change this, I could change anything. And I had a lot to change because my life was a mess. I was single, broke, and I had a lot of challenges and difficulties and problems. And this was just the beginning. So that's how my journey started with Theta Healing.
And what a beautiful journey, because your children could witness this.
Mm-hmm. Yes, both of my children are Theta healers.
Wow.
My daughter has taken the seminars up until the 4th level. My son just started last year. He was rejecting it for a long time, and finally he started opening up to it, and he took basic with me, and he's going to continue the next time I'm teaching the advanced.
Wow.
So indeed, yes. But even before they started taking seminars, in Theta Healing, we have 4 levels. One is the genetic level. And in the genetic level, we always offer all the shifts to our ancestors and also to our children. And well, if one has grandchildren, basically to the generations to come. And I was seeing the shifts on them already before they actually started practicing this modality. So it's amazing, yes.
That's amazing. I mean, it's amazing that you could see your children do that as well, right? So that's amazing. But you've trained, you've got so many levels behind you now.
Yes, I mean, I'm going to say this the most humble way, but indeed, I'm one of the most qualified Theta healers in the world, right? And instructor at this point. I have taken many, many seminars, but the beginning journey wasn't that, progressive, I would say, because after taking the advanced seminar, I didn't really have the funds to continue. Then it took me like another 6 months in order to be able to take the Dig Deeper seminar. Then I took the Dig Deeper seminar like 3 times because I was trying to do the digging process very analytically, and I was kind of stuck there. And the huge shift, I would say, was the Intuitive Anatomy seminar, which I took only 3 years after I started my Theta Healing journey. And I only took the Dig Deeper and Manifesting an Abundance in between. Manifesting abundance also several times because I had many, many, many money blocks and my finances were mirroring that, of course. And in 2018, I finally was able to take the Intuitive Anatomy Theta Healing seminar, which is the longest and the most transformative seminar of the modality. And after the 3 weeks of inner work, my life shifted. I manifested my dream job. Well, at that point, my dream job, which was at Tiffany & Co. And a few months later, I manifested a soulmate relationship, which was awesome because I have been single at that time for years. And surely, my life started to transform. I was able to invest more in Theta Healing seminars. And it wasn't until 2020 that I was called to become an instructor once every area of my life has transformed, So I really wanted to believe in something that I am advocate for, right? So I needed the proof to experience the shifts in order to be able to talk about Theta Healing and my journey a very honest and inspiring way.
And I think I can witness that because I was one of your students in the Manifesting and Abundance. So I've taken the Manifesting and Abundance with you, and I definitely do feel so amongst everything I've studied in my life, Theta Healing has been the most effective healing modality ever. And even trained in psychotherapy and doing counseling and healing, it's always when I incorporate Theta Healing, it's we allow those big shifts to happen because Theta Healing touches on so many.
Yes, I really think Theta Healing has an answer and tool for anything. I also continued to train myself. I trained in developmental trauma psychology since, and I have continued to explore other modalities. But indeed, Theta Healing, I would say, is the main modality that I use with my clients and with my coaching clients. And of course, I teach it almost on a weekly basis, bi-weekly.
You would say, I would say, and people would say that in life, people have all sorts of beliefs because this is what Theta Healing is basically based. It's, I would say, challenging that belief system that you're born with, thinking that you're so limited in so many ways. So you probably know, I come from South Africa, from Cape Town, and there's so many beliefs that I've had to untangle being in that lineage. And I married myself to the belief that I will defeat each belief that I was born with. And because I done that, I think I unraveled my thing that women, there's a lot of projection around women, especially the sexuality. We were taught if women wear red lipstick that they are sluts. Really some really, really invasive beliefs as a child. Also money beliefs that we had to carry as children. I saw my parents fight over money, not necessarily my parents, my grandfather and my father's side. My first memory was my grandfather beat my uncle because of a money tree. So money always represented violence, egos, and unhealthy challenges. And I carried that, because those were my memories. and all our memories were installed from childhood, and that's obviously where we go and start the digging, as well. So I witnessed how theta healing really changed that powerfully. If anything, it's such a gift to give someone is theta healing.
Yes, I agree. I think everyone should learn theta healing and become aware of how everything in our life, all the situations, all the relationships mirror our subconscious programmings. Yes, indeed, we were born with many beliefs because we pick up beliefs already in our mother's womb, and through the genetics in our DNA, we inherit a lot of subconscious programs, and also on a soul level from past life experiences, right? We bring subconscious programs with us into this existence. But I would say, and the founder of Theta Healing says the same thing, that about 60-70% of our limiting beliefs have been picked up through our childhood and up until this very moment. Because if we watch a movie, we listen to the news, we share experiences with people, we continuously adding to this subconscious program bank. and once we align with that program being the truth, we are going to start creating our reality through that information.
You said earlier, just for anyone who's watching, and let's say they are in anywhere of the world, spoke about instantaneous healing. Do you think anyone can access instantaneous healing?
Yes, I think it's our birthright to utilize this energy of creation, which we are part of. And the only thing that will limit instantaneous healing is the subconscious programs that are holding certain issues in our body in place as well. So our relationship with our body and any disease or any disorder, any illness is also a reflection of the subconscious programs that we have acquired. So indeed, instantaneous healing is, I would say, one of the most miraculous experiences I've had as a human. And of course, witnessing it on myself so early on in my theta healing journey, I think it gives me a huge advantage to be able to witness that for my clients. And I have assisted, because I'm not the healer, right? The healer is always this energy of unconditional love, energy of creation, this highest intelligence, this highest vibration that we utilize and tap into in theta healing. But I'm the instrument, I'm the messenger, and I'm the co-witness of those healings. And I am lucky enough to say that I have had the pleasure to witness that on students, clients, from healing cancer to autoimmune diseases. One of my specialty or talent is helping women getting pregnant and being pregnant, making, full term and having children. I call my babies theta babies, and I am called the fairy godmother of many babies already, because I have helped so many women overcome challenges when it comes to fertility. And yes, I believe that instantaneous healing is available to anyone.
Wow, I did not know that about you.
Oh, well.
Oh, wow, that's fascinating. So you would say that one of your specialities are assisted in fertility?
I would say that if I would need to call when it comes to health, that's the thing I have the most experience with and the most success rate with.
Ah, that's amazing. Can you tell me more about what actually goes on when it comes to blocks around fertility?
Well, it's a very, very complex subject, and each session and each client will have a completely different journey and subconscious programs. But let's say some major ones, right? So throughout history, and this can come from past life memories or from genetic, birth wasn't the safest experience. Many women died giving birth. Many women died during pregnancy. Many women died after the birth because of infections. And many women lost newborns or babies after giving birth to them. So about 200 years ago, I think I read a statistic once that out of 10 children, only 4 survived age 5, and only 2 made it to, over 18. I mean, that's a horrible statistic, right? So many people subconsciously associate pregnancy and birth with danger, with death, with heartbreak and sadness and trauma and so on. Then, of course, the experience we had in our mother's womb, it's also very important. And the egg that created us was already present in our mother's ovary when our grandmother was 7 months pregnant with her. So what was our maternal grandmother experiencing throughout the pregnancy with our mother, and what was I experiencing in my mother's womb? It's also a very big subject that we talk about. And then, of course, if the client has sisters who had miscarriages, or they had miscarriages, or they were exposed to friends who had difficulty during pregnancy, or these can all again help them acquire different limiting subconscious programs when it comes to their fertility and their ability to, give birth to a healthy child with ease.
Wow.
I just mentioned a few things, but yes.
Wow, that's interesting.
Subject.
So you think that the denominator, the main thing for people is usually safety around bringing life into the world and blocks, which kind of makes sense, doesn't it?
Yes. And then we can have celibacy vows that we bring from other lifetimes, right? We can have oath vows that we will never become mothers, we will never have children. There are so many different belief systems. I have a client who hasn't gotten pregnant, even though they desire to get pregnant, because subconsciously she is testing the loyalty, the faithfulness of her partner. Will he stay with me even if I can give a child, right? So there are very, sometimes complicated beliefs and dynamics attached to why a woman is not getting pregnant easily. And then there's also the sperm count, and there is the the compatibility between the woman's egg and the man's sperm, and that whole moment of the word is missing from my vocabulary at the moment. The moment when the sperm finally reaches the egg, it's called, how would you call the first second of the pregnancy?
The conception?
The conception, yes, thank you.
I don't want to get it wrong, so I was thinking,
I just could not remember the word conception, exactly. So the conception itself, it's a beautiful dance of compatibility, because they used to believe that, the sperms were swimming towards the egg, and then one made it, and then that one bit force entered the egg. No, now science has even proven that it's a completely different process. The egg has receptors, and there is an opening called which opens up to allow that one sperm, which is resonating with the egg, to enter, right? So it's also a beautiful spiritual and an experience of alignment between the sperm and the egg. And sometimes the Juno just doesn't want to open, just doesn't want to let the sperm in. So there's also other side, which is, I mean, we women are not always 100% responsible for the infertility. Sometimes it's the compatibility with the partner that we have to also.
And do you think that could happen? Do you think it could happen when you're working with a client that it's not really just her belief system, but it's her husband's or her partner's belief system?
Of course, I have helped couples. Yes, we don't always just focus on the woman. Sometimes we have cleared everything, and I see the woman being completely ready in every level, and then there is still, hold back because of the man's belief system. I mean, it's a co-creative process. Having a child is between, ideally, between a partner, in a partnership. So yes, there is sometimes the side of the man that we have to also look at.
And what do you think happens in a scenario when you're working with someone and they're coming to you for the same situation over and over, and they get stuck in this process, almost like a loop in therapy, in this therapeutic environment or in a theater healing environment? What would you actually say if someone's listening and someone has go, hey, actually, I've tried theater healing and the same thing keeps coming up and I just don't seem to heal the same thing, and I'm digging and I'm doing the work and I'm being questioned, but I'm still stuck in the same position?
Well, I can only say that what my experience was. For example, I took the same seminar over and over and over and over again. So some people just take, manifesting in abundance one time, and they think that they cleared the beliefs and this is now checked and it's done. And then they, number one, don't implement what they learned in their everyday practice. Number two, there are still subconscious programs remaining from even the seminar and many, many others that we don't even go through during the seminar. So what I did, I'm a huge advocate of repeating seminars. So for example, if the subject was romantic relationship, I retook that seminar as many times as I needed before I started to see the shifts. With manifesting an abundance, the same. I took that seminar so many times until finally I started to see the shifts in my life. And that means that I did a lot of belief work on myself. I traded sessions and swapped sessions, and every person brought a little bit from a different perspective, the same subject, and I just would not let go, because we function from comfort zones. And even though if even something that is, not the highest and the best for us, but it at least is familiar, to detach from it and to have faith that, what's beyond it might be better, is something that not everybody is able to receive and, detach from. So however, whatever the subject is, if they keep on holding on to it, they have a benefit of holding on to it. Most of the time, it has to do with fear and safety, right? So it might be not the best, but at least I'm familiar with and I can tolerate it, right? And then anything beyond it, it's unfamiliar. I don't know what's going to happen, and I don't feel confident enough in my own abilities and skills that I will be able to handle it. Even though that's what I want to manifest, it's foreigner to me because I have never experienced it before, right? So looking at it from all different perspectives, and then beliefs come in layers. So we might have shifted that belief, but it's again here because now we can go deeper and we can release it from, like an onion, like the layers of an onion. We can always go deeper and find new aspects and new awarenesses, even through the same belief. If it keeps returning, But when there is a belief that it's very, very
Like stubborn.
stubborn and it's stuck, there's usually an addiction, there's usually an attachment attached to that belief and what that creates in our lives.
Wow. Yeah. So if someone is in a journey and they've gone to see, let's say, 5 practitioners, or I often get people who come to me and say, look, I've done this and I've went to that practitioner and I've done that, and then I'm in session with them and they go, oh, this is coming up again. And I explain to them, this is just every layer, there's another devil. On every level, you'll meet another devil. So let's go and explore perhaps what's going on there. But would you say this could be, this could bring up a lot for people right now, what I'm about to say, because people don't usually like to hear this. So controversy, it might bring up. But do you believe that sometimes there's an inner archetype, the victim? And this is what you explained earlier of the benefit. There's a benefit. So if someone keeps getting sick and they're sick the whole time and they say, okay, I want to cure, I want to work in health and I just want to cure the root of what's coming up. But there's an internal victim.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that was the biggest shift for me in my life when I stopped finally functioning from a victimhood mentality and archetype. I was the biggest victim. Every time I met people, I would bond to them, relate to them by sharing how terrible my childhood was, how terrible my marriage was, how much abuse I have endured. I mean, it was basically, a subject that would be coming up in all my conversations, in all my relationships. And I felt so much pity for myself. And I really felt like a victim for the longest time. And functioning from a victimhood mentality. So I found ThetaHealing 46 now. So I found ThetaHealing at 36. And I was functioning from a victimhood mentality. Probably I was born in it because my mother was a victim as well. So let's say over 30 years, right? I mean, it's great that I went to 5 practitioners and we did healings on it, but it might not be enough to finally be able to put that behind myself and take, control of my life and recognize that until I function from victimhood, I will keep being a victim. So really, truly releasing that identity and finally saying, you know what? I'm responsible here. I chose that mother. I chose that father. I chose that country. I chose my childhood. I chose my husband. I chose all those things in order to become the person that I was meant to become, in order to be able to learn those things that will help me ultimately to complete what I came here to do, my life purpose, my soul mission. I needed to go through those things and I don't have to function from that anymore. And that is power, that empowers. That is finally saying, you know what, now I'm going to use all those lessons. Now I'm going to really take, the next step and I'm going to stop blaming anyone and everyone for my misfortune, because it was, I'm accountable, responsible, and I can do better from now on.
That's so fascinating, and like it's so relatable. Well, I don't want to sound like the victim by relating to the inner archetype relating, but I could see that, and I think there's something that's called, when you trauma bond or soul bond with someone who's got the same trauma, and you go, oh yeah, abuse, let's talk about that. I was abused when I was a child, or let's talk about trauma because we had trauma growing up, or do you think there's something that installs the victim? Because surely victims don't want to be a victim. Because if you echo that back to a victim or someone who has perhaps an archetype, something running within them that's got that victim energy, or belief, that's quite a disempowering energy to feel. But do you think something initiates that makes it very difficult for them to extract?
I can only talk about my experience. I was getting a lot out of being a victim and what it means to get things out of negative belief. Every negative belief has an advantage, right? We get out of everything, something out of everything. Even the person who is terminally ill has a benefit attached to that reality. So what was I getting out of being a victim? I was getting out a lot of attention and care and compassion. I was being able to accept help as a victim. Like, I was having a lot of benefits as well as being a victim. It was limiting me in many, many ways, but it was something I was functioning from, and I didn't know better that if I took control of my life, I could create so much more than as a victim. But while I was functioning from that victimhood, I was believing that that was my only way of receiving these things.
And I really hope that message goes to the right ears. So whoever's hearing that, who needs to hear that? Because that could be empowering enough to go, hey, I recognize I'm doing that. Maybe something just goes on for them. Like, I know we're coming close to running out of time almost. Thank you so much. What I just want to ask you, just behind the world of theta healing, just through your own philosophy, what do you feel like you've learned the most from people through your wisdom?
I really truly believe that I learned that I have the capacity to create, So I'm a creator of my reality, of my life. And I keep on surprising even myself with how I overstep, and experience new things and how much more I can do than I previously thought to be possible. And you were mentioning how I travel so much and I'm here, I'm there. So indeed, I live a life where there is so much fun, Life is an adventure. My son lives in Florida, and in the winters, I lived in Florida for the winters, lived in Europe for the summers, but now I'm in a relationship here, so I won't be able to do that. But I'm going to.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. So I go to Florida to visit my son, right? My daughter lives here in Budapest, and the boyfriend lives here in Budapest as well. So I'm here. I love Budapest, especially from the spring to the fall. And then last year I went to teach seminars to California. I went to teach seminars to Tirana, Albania, to Bucharest, Romania. I went to India to teach seminars. So I went to Tuscany to teach seminars.
Oh, wow.
There are some in-person seminars in ThetaHealing, and sometimes I finally meet my students who have been taking seminars with me for years, and we only met online, and then I go to teach this in-person seminar so we can connect and hug each other finally and meet in person. So that's why I travel a lot, to answer your first question at the beginning of the video. So I created a life which feels really fulfilling, really empowering. I hope it's inspiring as well. And each year I say, wow, this has been the best year so far. I again expanded the way I can receive love, I can spread love, I can contribute to people, I can experience joy. And I am just really, really happy. And I'm very grateful I found Theta Healing, because I know without Theta Healing, I wouldn't be where I am.
Yeah, no, I can agree with that, and I can understand that. I'm testament to that story. So, what was your biggest aha moment in your life? Your biggest aha moment that hit your transformation, that you thought, "Wow, I am this limitless being now, and I can pursue anything beyond all the childhood stuff." What is the biggest aha moment for you?
Well, the biggest aha moment, I would say, was that instantaneous healing, because it was like a miracle. Because here I was in pain, unable to straighten my spine. I have been in excruciating pain for months. And then, I do this digging session on myself. I realized this limiting belief that is attached to a certain benefit. And as soon as I shifted that, I saw that energy coming in and doing its job and healing my lower back. And that was the biggest aha moment, I would still say, because I was like, wow, if I could do this, I can shift anything, right? And then, of course, with everything, I mean, my opinion of men, of romantic relationship, I had to collapse so much there. My opinion of money, of finances, I had to collapse so much. Even about my body. I mean, the most recent is that I started trail running just a few months ago. I was never a runner. I was a ballet dancer, and when I was growing up, and that even a body of age of 46, my body right now looks like I looked 20 years ago, because
Wow.
because I do now sports, and to be honest, I wasn't this sport oriented and
Yeah.
health oriented always, right? So to even the relationship to my own body, and how my body can surprise me, and how my body can actually run. I mean, I'm only at like 7 kilometers in trail running, which is, if you told me that 4 months ago I will be running 7 kilometers without a stop in the forest, uphill and everything,
Wow.
I've been like impossible. But just a small something, the aha moment of truly shifting some of the subconscious programs about myself, about my body, about my limits, and the limits of my
Yeah.
body, being able at 46, have abs and the muscles and
Yeah.
the weight that I desire, is just, again, a huge aha moment. And also the relationship I have now, it's so much the quality of this relationship. I only been in I mean, this is the second relationship in the past 10 years,
Wow.
So I had one that I manifested in 2019. It lasted 4 or 5 years, and now this is a new relationship. And truly, the energy of the relationship, the quality of the relationship, the communication, the cooperation, my vulnerability in this relationship is just at a new level. And I'm just so grateful I'm able to experience a relationship with a man this way, which was impossible even a few years ago, when I was already a Theta healer. So there are so many aha moments, when I realized, oh, this is what I've been functioning from. No wonder I had those experiences. I was creating those experiences. Whatever my subconscious belief was, people and the world has no choice but prove me right. Correct? We walk around like this. And until we shift and change and take the filters off, we are unable to even see what's available to us. So my life is full of aha moments, but I think I mentioned the most important was that in 2015, when I healed my lower back.
Wow.
A lot.
I love that. And I also love what you said, that every year there's just transformation. Because I just had the realization as you said that, and I could relate to that. I was thinking, you know what? It keeps getting better for me. Like, things just keeps getting better. And I wonder if it's once you start going on your healing journey and you continue to go on that journey and you continue to do the work, you can't go back to the way things were. It's like you have a paradigm shift and everything just shifts for you. Things just can only get better the more you invest in yourself.
Indeed. And it wasn't like this from 2015. There was,
Yeah. Yeah.
in 2018, when I took that intuitive anatomy seminar, I had hospital death of $120,000. I had a daughter who almost died. I had a son who was suffering from anxiety and self-medicating with weed. I mean, life was not easy. I had to quit my job in order to take care of my daughter, who almost, was in life-threatening condition. So, I mean, that was already 2-3 years into Theta Healing, and I was fed up with it. All the time I have invested, all the money, I mean, that wasn't that much, but still, I felt, that, I done the work and things have
Yeah.
worsened. So I could have given up there, right? But thank goodness I continued. I went to that life-changing seminar, the Intuitive Anatomy, and things started to shift. And I took that seminar 3 times, right? And each time there was a huge shift in my life. And I can tell about a few seminars that have been huge contributions. But I always kept going, right? And looked for other things. Like I also learned access consciousness or give bars, or I went to learn other meditative techniques. I mean, I continuously was searching for more tools and more healings, because I believe we can only offer healings to other people as much as we healed ourselves.
Yeah. 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 And do you feel like, as a practitioner, because I can see that the more I grow, the more your people grow too, because you're able to stretch that capacity, the container.
Of course, I agree with that too. And it is the most humbling and honoring to see my students and my clients' life transform. I mean, that really is my passion, and that's what gives me purpose to continue teaching and taking clients and yeah, to continue this work.
That's amazing. Oh God. Well, this has been so exciting. Thank you so much, Zsuzsa, for sharing this space. And just one last word from your heart. If there was anything that you can inspire, motivate, empower, or to share with the world today, what would those words be?
Oh, I would say that you guys are all worthy. Worthiness is not something that is attached to how you look or what you have done or what people think of you. Your worthiness is eternal, is sacred, and you're worthy of happiness, of abundance, of health, of love, and keep choosing yourself, and just search for that modality, for that information that will finally give you the information, the consciousness, the tools needed for you to be able to transform your life, because it is possible. If I could do it, you could do it, you can do it, and I just really hope that everybody finds, a way of being able to experience this reality in a much more fulfilling way.
Ultimately, it's the best investment. You are the best investment, right?
Of course.
The more you invest in yourself, the more you grow.
Exactly. And if I may, I'm having an intro event November 8th. I don't know when this video will come out, but I have an intro event where, I talk in more depth about the subconscious programs and where they come from and how we can reveal them. And I talk about Theta Healing on the 8th of November. It's going to be online. And then the week after, so the 14th to the 16th of November, I teach the basic Theta Healing seminar, which is the first level of this modality to start your journey. So,
oh, wonderful! Thank you so much. Where can people find you?
Oh, yes, that helps too. So my website is called I Heal with Love. So www.ihealwithlove.com, all the events and links and information is on my website. People can also, reach out to me through the website, and I'm happy to assist anyone and everyone. And yeah, I'm just here. If you think that I can help you in any way, please, let's connect.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And thank you for this fruitful hour. I'm sure you've touched people and you've made people more curious to find you. So I want to thank you again.
Well, thank you so much for co-creating this and for inviting me. And yeah.
Amazing. Thank you.